Tell me about your childhood. As I mentioned, Fresno, California. You were a terrific athlete. As you started to mature, take us through that.
Actually, I was very good, and it has to do with growth cycles. That's the simplest way to put it. I was very good when I was like 11 and 12, etc. By the time we got to high school, when I was a senior, when I was a junior, I played B basketball. I wasn't even big enough or good enough to play JV basketball or varsity. And I did not make the varsity baseball team when I was a junior either. And then kind of the growth spurt and things started to mature. And then when I was a senior at Fresno High School in 1962, I made the all-city team in basketball and baseball.
So now we know. Michael Jordan was the one who didn't make his high school basketball team down in Carolina. And you were the guy who couldn't make your baseball and basketball varsity teams.
Not until I got to be a senior year, yeah.
What a year, Tom, 1969. I mean, one of the great years in sports, not just in this, this town, but here was this underdog team. What a time in the country. I mean, Vietnam. We went to the moon, first man to walk on the moon, Neil Armstrong. And here come the underdog Mets, doing what nobody thought you could do. What was the season like?
New York Jets going along.
Name it. Guarantee.
New York Knickerbockers, all in that time frame, you know. It was a very special time here in New York. The most important piece of history in New York, for me, for the New York Mets, when Gil Hodges was named the manager of the ball club. He brought a level of professionalism and a level of respect and credibility immediately when he put on that uniform. And he demanded the kind of things that were demanded with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And that happened. To play the game smartly, to play the game 100%, to play it with a focus, all those intangible words. And he was the most important man in my professional career. He's the guy that I learned more, not about how to throw a curveball or how to throw, you know, when to throw a slider or all this other, none of that. He taught me how to be a professional. How about when you put the uniform on, you go on the field, this is how you go about your business. And he never missed a thing. So he was, I missed him dearly, and still miss him in many ways, etc. When he had a very early death. But he was the most important person ever to come along in the Met franchise.
The learning curve for young pitchers today seems to be so great. You need time under your belt. You came in, Tom, 67. You won 16 games, 18 complete games, and then ERA under 3. You were a rookie. It's changed so much, but did you feel like you could dominate from the beginning?
No, you're learning a trade too. I mean, it's a continual learning process, and part of that learning process is teaching yourself that you do belong. And each step, it's like in any profession, each step gives you a bit more confidence, etc. And finally you get to the point where you say, and it really, I think the solidification of that for me was the All-Star game in '67. You know, what am I doing at an All-Star? I've got, 3 months in the big leagues. And it happens to be in Anaheim, California. You know, that's where the All-Star game was.
And you looked around. Who did you see, Tom? Who did you see that your eyes were popping out of your head?
Two idols that I had when I was a kid, Sandy Koufax and Henry Aaron. With a locker right next to me was Henry Aaron. When I showed up at the game, the All-Star game in '67, I had to show my ID. They didn't know. He said, no. I looked like I was about 17. They said, you're right, kid. And I was the first one there.
Hello everyone, I spend a lot of time trying to get you guys nice videos, so please subscribe to this page. Thank you.